Today's video is a long-awaited video. It is my workout split. So what my workout looks like during the week. It is a 5-day split right now. We're starting off with legs. I have my belt and my bag and my shoes and all that good stuff. Any questions, just drop them below and hopefully you guys like it. Starting leg day off with the warm-up, we're gonna be doing the glute abduction machine, the gluteator, just high rep, anywhere between 12 to 15, and then superset right into long stance walking lunges. Again, this is just to kind of get like our legs warmed up, make sure everything's feeling good, and we're gonna jump right into our first superset, which will be a leg extension and Bulgarian lunge. Starting off leg extensions, we're gonna do 2 sets of 12 to 15 light, followed by 8 to 10 heavy Bulgarian lunges. The way this one works is gonna be all left leg, single leg, and then go to Bulgarians, all left leg, then go back to your single leg extensions, right leg, Bulgarians, single leg as well. So for this exercise, we're gonna be doing a standing hack squat here. This one feels the best for me personally. You have the option to either do a Smith machine squat or even like a pendulum squat if your gym has it. This one with the added platform just gives me the best range of motion for myself. And so we're doing 2 sets of like 12 to 15 nice and light or moderate weight. And then we're gonna up it and do 3 sets of a nice heavy 8 to 10. So this one main thing is making sure that I'm keeping my core engaged, I'm grounding through my heels, and I'm really using my glutes to help power up that movement. Leg press here, we're doing a quad focused leg press. So our feet are gonna be a little bit lower, either more narrow than your hips or hip width. And we're gonna try to be pushing through our toes, as weird as that sounds. So you wanna push through our toes, but still keep full contact with that platform. We're gonna be doing 4 sets of 12 to 15, really focusing on like squeezing your quads at the top of each rep. At the end of this, like you should feel like a really good burn at this. So this is a full-on quad burner for this leg press. Last superset of this workout is going to be heavy walking lunges. I do these with a barbell just personally because I feel more balanced and I don't love doing like the grip because I feel like that inhibits me a little bit more. But if you would rather do dumbbell, you can totally do that as well. And then we'll be supersetting with a heavy calf raise. All of these don't really have reps, it's just heavy. So I typically do 8 to 10 for the lunges, and then for my calf raises, I try to just go until fatigue and then push like 3-4 reps after that. So that's the last superset, and then we're done leg day. We have our push day today, which is going to be push. Obviously, I just said that, push, and arms, a little bit of tricep at the end. We're gonna do a typical warm-up as always, especially with push because of my shoulder. I wanna make sure nothing is feeling achy or creaky because we're approaching our 30s. We do need to warm up now. So warm-up wise, we are doing laterals, we're doing push-ups, and then rear delt fly. So rep range here is basically just kind of like to get a pump. So I'm basically doing 15 of each. Next up, we have a flat bench press. So we're using dumbbells for this. We're basically working up to a heavy 6 to 8. So I'm gonna do around 2 to 3 warm-up sets and then do 2 sets of the heavy set, aiming to be around like the 25-30 mark, probably only 25 today. And then we're gonna do a core movement. So for me today, my core movement is just gonna be on the floor, V-snaps really quick. I change this up each week. Whatever you feel like doing for core, you can definitely sub in for this part. It's gonna be 2 sets of 12 to 15 machine chest press, then also lateral raises 12 to 15. And then we're doing a little bit of a heavier set, 2 sets of 6 to 8, and then 2 sets of 8 to 10 for the lateral raises. Single arm Arnold press, we'll do all one side and then switch to the other side. So we're doing 10 kilograms here, and then we're doing alternating front raises. So this is a high rep, this is meant to burn. Finish off this workout, we're doing 2 to 3 sets of skull crushers plus any core movement. So for my core movement for this one, I'm going to do hanging leg raises. That's one of my favorites. Hanging leg raises, I usually like to make them a little bit fancy so we can just kind of play around with what we want to do here since it is 2 to 3 sets. So first set would probably just be regular ones. If I were to do a second set, I would do like around the worlds. Third set, maybe I would do a hanging L sit to leg raise. So just changing different ranges of motion to challenge myself with each set. That's the shoulder. Actually, there was barely any shoulder. Oh, actually, there was lots of shoulders in that. But that's my push day. All right, we're doing our second leg day of the week, which is going to be, I know I said leg and I'm like literally at the bench press, but that's because this leg day is hamstrings and bench. Reason why bench is in this program is because I told Jody that one of my goals is to get 185 for my bench press. So she gave me an extra bench day. Claps for Jody. We're working up to a heavy 2 to 3 reps here. So when it comes to working up to my heavy bench press, I always start with just the bar, always. That's primarily just, again, one of those things, just like a health check to make sure that like nothing's twingy or feeling weird. And then we slowly, gradually build on weight. So for me, typically, if I'm at Woo, it's all in kilograms. So I will do the 10, and then I will do the 15, and then I'll do 20. Then I'll jump up to the reds. So I'll go each one. And I'm only doing like 1 to 2 reps at each one. And I'm really just focusing on how well it's moving. I'm keeping an eye out for like if there's any imbalances between my 2 arms. If that's the case, I'll typically like not go as heavy as I want to be going, just so that way I can work on technique, because even though I am chasing 185, I want to make sure that I get there one safely and properly. So that's why I do like a really nice gradual warm up. Hopefully I will hit 185 soon. Okay, so like I said, typically I would try to put the reds on next. The way this is moving slash feeling, I'm probably gonna keep it here and just do my 2 sets like this, just because I do feel like remember way back, I did a back video where I said I had impingement in my shoulder. I still feel like that side's just like a little bit weaker and a little bit more unstable, so I am just gonna stay here, kind of fix this problem a little bit longer, and then try to bounce up to the reds. But today is just a blue day, a bluey. All right, so for this one, we're doing 4 sets of a triple drop set. So we're doing 10 reps at each drop set. So I'm starting today at 44, then we're gonna drop to 33 and then 22. This is supposed to be a laying down hamstring curl, but because that machine's broken here today, we're doing seated. Each time I curl my legs in, I really wanna make sure that I'm driving my heels back, getting a nice tight squeeze in my hamstrings, and then slowly bringing it up. Full range of motion, even when I'm getting tired. If I need to on that triple drop set by like the 3rd, 4th set, I can obviously do a little bit of a rest pause, but trying to keep the momentum going throughout the entire workout and the form stays consistent. Deadlifts, we're doing 4 to 5 sets. We're gonna be doing a heavy barbell deadlift, stiff leg, and then right away supersetting with a lighter dumbbell stiff leg deadlift. Think of it as like a drop set, so what we just did before on the hamstring curl, but now just with dumbbells. For my deadlift, I do like to build up towards my heavy set, not just like jumping right away. So I'm gonna build a little bit, get to my like working weight, and then start my superset from there. Biggest things with me in deadlifts is one, I have a hate relationship with them. So for me, I just have to be really careful and mindful of my attitude towards deadlifts, because as I'm doing the movement, I wanna make sure that I'm in a good mindset, so that way I'm not making small little errors and potentially hurting myself. So as much as I hate the movement, I really gotta dial in, focus on technique, which is why I take those couple extra steps and do a building set into my working set. Doopy. We are now doing wide stance leg press, focusing on our glute and our hamstrings. We're doing 4 sets. We're gonna aim for 10 slow reps, followed by 10 to 15 quick pump reps, feet higher on the platform. Calf raises, we're doing 3 sets here. This is a drop set. Now I know whenever I work out with Bong, you guys have probably heard in the background where he's like, dude, double your body weight. I don't do that. I just do enough that my calf raises, I can really feel the burn. And then this is a drop set, so I did 20 kilograms, and then I'll probably drop it off and then do like 10 to 15. And then again, we're just doing as many as I can for each, both the first set of weight and the second set of weight. All right, new day, new workout. We're doing my least favorite workout today, okay? And every single program, there is one that I like just despise. Today it's back and arms, and I don't like it because there is all of the pull-ups. After every superset, we're doing 15 to 20 pull-ups today. So we're gonna get warmed up like we always do before our workouts, and then we're gonna jump right into the first exercise. Bent over DB rows, close grip lat pull downs. This is for a quick warm up set. So similar to all the other days that we have in here, you guys will notice the first movement will be kind of like a pump up warm up set. So this is just 3 quick ones. No reps said, so I usually just go for 15. Okay, so when I'm doing my lat pull downs, one of the biggest problems I had going into bodybuilding in general was I didn't know how to flare my lats. Now that I do know how to flare my lats, it's super helpful on my lat pull downs because it helps me engage my muscles more. And it overall, like when I go to like pose and stuff, I can feel better activation. So basically, when my arms are up and I'm pulling down, it's a tight squeeze. And the lat flare happens when I'm bringing the bar back up. So that's when I really want to activate on like pushing my little wings outwards and feel like a nice big stretch, and then again, pull it down, tight squeeze. Now that we've done the warm up, we're doing the first set of pull-ups. This one is 15 to 20, any style, as if I'm not gonna pick the only style that I can do right now, which is probably just body weight. Big jump. It's gonna be sets of 5 today. 5, 5, 5. Usually I get 10 on the first one, but 5, 5, 5 today. We have way more to go, so this is just the little beginning part of it. So now we're doing wide grip lat pull down, supersetted with cable curls. This is just for a light 10 rep range for just a pump. So for the pull downs, we're gonna be doing 4 sets as well as the cable curls. We're aiming for 10 heavy reps, and then we're gonna do a little bit of a rest pause and try to pump out like another like 3 to 5 reps, depending where we're at. This one, by the 4th set, to be honest, the heavy reps, I'm really only doing 3. And I'm using my favorite attachment, which is like, I think they're called mag grips or something. I really like these ones, but if you don't have that, you can just use the regular like wide bar and just pull for your lat pull downs. So this one's supposed to be easy bar, reverse grip, bent over rows. We're gonna do straight bar just because the easy ones here aren't as like heavy. And then we're gonna be doing alternating arm pull downs or single arm PD. This one's just 3 sets, higher rep. So typically I don't usually do it on that cable machine. I'll actually do it on like a lat pull down machine that has like the dual cable. Whenever I do them and I'm doing my single arm, as I'm pulling down, I'm focused again on that tight squeeze in my lat, and I'll actually turn my body a little bit, get a tight squeeze, bring it back up, allow that full stretch before I bring down the the other side. You can also do this like with other machines. Like if you have like a lat pull down machine, by all means, you can also do it machine based. It doesn't necessarily have to be cable, whether it's like the single leg cables or the actual like lat pull down cable. So now is where you would typically do your second set of pull-ups. But if you want to do it where you do all your pull-ups at the end or just like randomly do them throughout the workout, by all means, you can do it. Just collectively, we are trying to get that like 60 rep range of pull-ups, which seems ridiculous because it is, but that's the goal of the workout. All right, so back is primarily done, except we have one more set of pull-ups at the very end, but now we're moving on to our arms. So we're gonna be doing our easy bar curls, which is 8 to 10 heavy. Then we're gonna be doing dumbbell curls, hammer grip, 8 to 10 heavy. And then we're also doing dumbbell or easy bar skull crushers. I prefer easy bar. It's just easier for me to control the weight and like get a better hinge movement. So this one, because it's heavy, we are going, well, to me, it's gonna be a heavier weight for me. Maybe not for anyone who's got big biceps, but I'll be doing curls with 12.5 for the hammers. And then for my easy bar, around like 20 kilograms, around like 40 pounds. And then my skull crushers is gonna be a little bit heavier. It's gonna be 30 kilograms, around 60 pounds. So I forgot that we still have one more superset before we go into our pull-ups and stuff. We have more arms. We're gonna do seated DB curls, tricep triple drop set type action. So that's gonna be on the cable. For that one, it's gonna be the rope attachment. We're gonna go regular here, then we're gonna go up a little higher and go more out. And then we're gonna flip ourselves around and go out this way for our triple drop set. So the weight will be going down, we'll be changing angles, trying to hit all heads of the tricep. And this one's just seated curls. So for my bicep curls, because it's probably my weakest muscle group, well, one of, because I just hate doing curls. One of the things that happens with me is when I start to curl, I'll actually start to like bring my elbows out and away from my body, so flaring out. So I have to be really conscious of keeping everything nice and tight and only hinging from the elbow. Another thing that I do when I get tired is I tend to cheat it a little bit and don't come like full range of motion. So just those are little two things to keep in mind. It is definitely a weak point for mine, so I have to focus on it during the off season. So starting off shoulder day, it's going to be a little bit of a warm up. So we're gonna do an incline walk. Usually I set it at around like 8 or like 8%. And then I go at around like anywhere between 4 to 5. And then after that, we're doing 3 rounds of HIIT. Super short, I like to keep it simple. 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. I bring down the incline and I'm literally just sprinting flat. Usually I'll do around like, more like a fast jog if I'm being honest, at around like 11, 12, just 3 rounds, and then I head off into my workout. Another little bit of a warm up just before we get into actually like any heavy movements. We're gonna be doing our side lateral raises as well as our Y press, as well as just internal external rotations. So this, basically we're aiming for like a super light weight and just going for 15 to 20 reps. Again, this is just to warm everything up. I also like to use my warm up as like, if anything's achy or pinching, that's kind of a good sign for me whether I can push heavier or if I need to lean back a little bit. So definitely doing a good strong warm up, feeling your shoulders and stuff like that when you're doing this is super important. So we'll do this and then we'll get right into the compound movements. This exercise we're doing standing machine Smith or pin loaded overhead press. I like this one because it's just smooth. Last time I did barbell when I did this one, but I like to mix it up. So we're going here for 3 sets of 12 to 15. Also 3 sets of 12 to 15 with the rear delt flies. And then we're gonna bump everything up in weight and go for 2 sets of more like 6 to 8 for the press, so really pushing that weight. But the rear delts still stay higher reps. We're going for like 12 there, but we still are increasing the weight. So if I need a rest pause, I can take it. So this one, ideally when I first start, it's 10 kilograms each side, and then I bump it up to 20 kilograms each side for that 6 to 8 to really push myself. Rear delts, I stay light. That stuff is more like 5 pounds and then 10 for me. Oh my God. We are doing shoulder press. This one is 4 to 5 sets. We're starting off with 25. We'll see how it goes. And then we're gonna drop down to probably 17.5 or 15 again, depending how it feels. For the drop set, we're aiming around like, hopefully 8 to 10 reps the first one. And then the second drop set is just basically just like getting as many reps as I can. Really pushing for at least like 6, but again, just whatever I get. Now we're doing the last exercise before we do skill work, which is going to be side lateral raises. And then we're doing an easy bar front raise. So for these ones, we're basically, as Jody loves to put in my program, just going until failure. Nice and strict, no cheating. So I'm going pretty light just so I can get a good burn. And also, as you guys could tell from my last, shoulder press, we're not the strongest today. So nice and light and strict. I usually try to go for like 20. And this is like 3 to 4 sets. And then right after this, we're gonna go right into our easy bar front raise. Easy bar front raises. Now these ones I tend to change depending on the day. Sometimes I'll do a little bit more of a lean forward just to get a little more emphasis on my shoulders or like where I feel it. But main thing here is that you don't wanna make it a bicep curl. So don't curl your arms up to raise. The elbows stay fixed. A slight soft bend is good and coming up. skill work after my shoulders are dead. So skill work, Jody leaves up to me. My shoulders are pretty toasty today, so we're gonna keep it nice and simple. I think we're gonna try to go for a handstand hold wall assisted, just because I really think if I do it freestanding, it's not gonna be the best today. So we're gonna do a wall handstand, we're gonna do some shoulder presses, and then I like to do a little bit of flexibility work today actually, just cause like these are not fresh right now. So let's do that. Going for a minute, I'm gonna time it on the ground. Tummy side, because that's my favorite to do. Oy. I just hang out here, tight squeeze, pushing up. We're gonna hold it for a minute. 1 minute done. We're not doing more than that today. I'm gonna do from my feet, because like I said, shoulder during the workout. Let's go for a nice humble number of 3 to 5. I'm gonna do it with shoes on. Usually I take my shoes off, but because, you know, I'm doing less reps, I should probably keep it the minimal amount of weighted as possible. Oh no. Try again. Oh my God. So main thing when I'm super tired like this and I do less reps, when I come down on my press, I know it might not look like it on the camera, but I'm really focusing on like pushing up in my shoulders and compressing my legs as much into my body as possible to at least condition technique, even though I'm doing less reps. If I can do really good technique today when I'm super tired, I know when I have to do it on performance time, it'll be no problem. So that's what I like to focus on the days where like my stuff isn't as strong as it needs to be. I still focus on technique really heavily. So we did our hold, we did our presses, super short for skill work today. Now we're just gonna stretch. So in this program as well, in my workout split, I have 2 rest days. One of the rest days is like an active rest day, so I'll typically either go to Chandrai Gymnastics, my old gymnastics club, and do some flips around and like kind of work on my skills, or I'll train with my friends in the evening, usually at Monkey Vault or Gyros Gymnastics, and that's kind of like my active rest day. I'll also do Pilates as well. And then on my full rest day, I basically just like take Rocket for like a nice walk outside, like what we're doing right now. For rest days, it's totally up to you what you decide to do, whether you just completely take it off, do some light stretching, whatever you want. The whole point is rest days are super important, especially if you're someone like me who's trying to grow. I know a lot of us in our minds are like, oh my gosh, we just need to work out and just like get gains, but you need your rest, so take your rest. So that is my workout split. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. See you in the next one.